two trades today, one loser and one winner. It could have been a little bit of a bigger winner, but I left one to kind of trail, and that didn't work out. So going into today, all the pivots were higher, so it was a bullish pivot relationship. But today's open was a bit muted. So I ended up opening inside value area here in RTH, and also inside value area ETH. So I really had a couple things in mind here. Didn't really have too much, especially because the market was just moving through this value area low level very easily. So I think I was a little bit more focused on the ETH value area. But both the ETH and the RTH value area high was at the same level, which was consolidating or coinciding with the supply zone here. So that was one of the levels that I really liked. I wanted to short value area high and supply here. The other level was value area low, ETH. I wanted to see if I can long there, and if it comes all the way down here, there was an L5 and high volume node ledge here that I liked at 71.19, so I wanted to long that level. But also, because it was opening under L3, I was looking to short L3 if there were confirmations. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. I think I included that only because I just wasn't too sure about these value area low level, because it was moving through with ease. But I should have just waited for the value area high, honestly, especially after it was finalized that it opened inside value area, both value areas. But yeah, so market rallies up. It opens inside value. It rallies up to L3, where I try a short at L3, and pretty much instantly does not work out. So L3 is 57, 71.57. I take it short on the first drop here, which I probably shouldn't have. Again, I'm kind of struggling with patience these days. I saw this 20R, 20 range delta divergence. Honestly, really should have waited for a retest, but that didn't happen, and I wanted to take it right here, short, with a stop above there, and I do. And there was kind of a P shape here at the top, so that was mainly my reason. There was a little P shape there, and then delta divergence on the 20 range. There was really not much more than that, but especially with a level like L3, I think I should have been more patient with it. But yeah, it did sell off a little bit, but instantly got bought back up to form a delta divergence bullish on the 2-minute here, and then it started rallying there from there on up. So yeah, that started off with a loser there, and then I'm waiting for the 64, 71.64-ish area, which was value area high, and also the supply zone. So I was waiting for that because that was the better level. And it seems like it's just going to keep rallying, but what I noticed here was that these pre-market highs here, the RSI was up here, but as it was rallying up to pre-market highs, the RSI was nowhere near this level here. So I thought it'd be very highly likely that as this pre-market high is broken inside the supply zone, we can see a hidden divergence, or a normal divergence on RSI. So that's kind of the context I'm going in with here. So if it does break above here and forms a normal divergence RSI, then I'm very much down to short this. So it comes into the 70s, which is where the pre-market high is, which is also inside the supply zone. So I first see, so we have this normal divergence forming, RSI. I see this 1 minute high volume hammer here, or high volume shooting star. It's a very nice candle there with high volume. Also, on the 20 range chart, I'm seeing delta divergence. Same thing with the 2 minute candle, delta divergence bearish. Also, there was at least a 1 minute delta divergence forming and a CVD hidden divergence forming here. So it actually goes up even more than that. So I'm waiting. I'm kind of waiting because it's been a big rally up, right? So I don't want to rush into this, although I see good confirmations here along with the RSI context. So I'm kind of waiting for this a little bit of a retest. I said, look, I need some sort of retest. And ideally that retest should make a CVD hidden divergence. So I see these buying imbalances come in. Buyers are coming in. I see that the 1 minute is forming a delta divergence here, along with the delta breaking highs here, but price did not, so CVD hidden divergence. So at that point, I was good with all the confirmations. I entered with 2 contracts. I was pretty confident in this one. I thought it was a very good setup, and very good confirmations also, especially with this hidden divergence. So entered with 2 here, and this 2 minute didn't end up as a delta divergence, but pretty much there. I mean, if it was 1 tick lower, it would have been a delta divergence there. So I'm in with 2 contracts, and then all of a sudden a bunch of selling comes in, forms some 0 prints, but then gets immediately bought back up here. So I'm kind of worried at this point because it's forming a delta divergence bullish, and it seems like it's gonna just go back up, but comes back around the same place here that I rejected earlier, and it starts rejecting a little bit. And yeah, it was kind of consolidating here, and then eventually it broke down, which seemed like an eternity, but my initial target was 3R. So I had my 3R target on my first contract. I did not realize that my 3R was pretty much where my low of day level was. I completely did not know that, and I had my second contract out for the 43 actually, because my thesis here was that it's rejecting at value area high, it will go to value area low, but there is the L4 level here and that wick there. So honestly, I could have aimed for this target, but if I knew this was low of day, I probably would have just taken 3R and then low of day. I just didn't differentiate this shaded color, and yeah, or maybe it was greed. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I need some sort of winners to get out of my drawdown, but yeah, honestly, I should have just taken 3R, both off at 3R. If I knew it was low of day, I could have just aimed for low of day, 3R, and then low of day, which would have been like 50, and I could have gone out there, but yeah, I was aiming for 43 for my second target. So my first target hits here, and this little drop, and then right as it hits the low of day here, immediately bounces. So it's coming back up. I'm hoping that it keeps selling off, but it doesn't. And it's also this low volume node here, so it does form a delta divergence on the 2 minute. Delta divergence, well, there's no delta divergence there, but on the 2 minute there was, and yeah, a CVD hidden divergence on the 1 minute. So these are all bullish signs that I don't like. And honestly, I probably should have just gone out here, but I was waiting to see if there's any sort of defending by the sellers. And it seemed like the sellers were coming back here, but it gets stuffed here with a delta divergence on the 20 range chart and also on the 1 minute, and it starts going back up. So at this point, I say that I'm done with this position, and because now at this point it is forming a higher low, and so I got out at 59s. Yeah. So what could have been a 15-point winner on my second contract turned into a 6-point winner, and yeah, gave back 9 points here. And I think it's a decent decision that I exited here, because I would have gone stopped out anyways at break even, since that was the low of day and it's rallying up now. So yeah. Oh yeah, also there was this trend line though. That was part of my confirmations here, along with that high volume shooting star. Overall, I think it was a good setup. Supply zone, value area high, short. My targets could have been better. I should have targeted low of day, honestly. I just didn't notice that that was low of day. And yeah, great confirmations. RSI, divergence, 1 minute high volume shooting star, trend line break, lots of delta divergences, and CVD hidden divergence. So good setup, good plan. It worked out. Didn't capitalize on it efficiently as I should have. But either way, decent trade.